Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the first of two, potentially three videos I do on this topic, Dance Gavin Dance. As of right now, I'm currently writing what is shaping up to be my biggest video yet, ranking every one of their albums. But while that's still in the works, I thought I'd do a smaller ranking video and talk about their music videos. Introduced in the self-titled album, with at least one for every album that follows except for Downtown Battle Mountain 2, they are always the thing I am most excited about with each new release. Now, this is a very difficult list to make, but I have to go with the criteria of the video alone, because if I ranked it based on the song, I'd be here all day just trying to figure out what number 27 is. This list will not include the lyric videos they released for some songs like Hair Song or On the Run. These are strictly videos where the band is in frame, with two notable exceptions that I think are different enough to warrant. With that being said, sit back and enjoy some groovy music. Alright, don't crucify me for this one. I think the song is fantastic, and it is at the moment probably my favorite song in the entire discography. But I just don't jive with the AI images as much as everybody else does. I mean, it's fine, but when I watch a DGD music video, I'm looking to be weirded out by the hijinks of the band, not some AI images. But, I mean, that's probably just me, and I mean, if you like the video, then hey, I can't really take that away from you. The song, like I said, is fantastic, and if I was ranking these videos based on the song, then yeah, this would probably be number one. Hey, so you know how I just said I'm looking for hijinks? What I meant was coherent hijinks. This is just a dude running through a small riverbank. I think I get what they were going for. I mean, they're trying to make a monster movie in the woods, but just doesn't really vibe with me. This video also employs what I'm going to be referring to from here on out as the Summertime Gladness effect, but I will explain more of that when we get into Summertime Gladness. As a song, it's fine, but again, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, I'm not ranking these based on the song. Although, this is a little bit of a weird song for me because it came out on my anniversary to someone I am no longer dating. So, it's kind of weird listening to this song now, but hey, the video is alright, it's not my favorite, and I just want to point out now, before I get too ahead of myself, that just because these videos are at the bottom of the list does not mean they are bad in any way. I think every video is good. I just have my personal tastes, and I hope you will all respect that. I feel weird putting the first video all the way down here, but what can I say? I mean, it's a serviceable video in what it's trying to do. I mean, it's just the boys in a forest performing the song. But the one thing that really brings it down for me, and before I even say it, I'm not blaming anybody because I understand why it had to happen, it just personally doesn't sit well with me, Will Swan lip-syncing over John Mess's vocals. It nicks the part of that brain just in the wrong spot to be off-putting just enough for me to not like it too much, but again, I get why it had to happen. John Mess stepped away from the band, so I get it. However, Kurt's 50s housewife hair does indeed bring it back up for me. And I mean, it's a good song. Just it's for a first music video, it's good. Just, you know, coming from what we're expecting nowadays with the music videos, it's pretty basic. But not to say that it's bad. There's not a lot of substance here. Just a weird, almost eyes wide shut affair going on with people in masks dancing like they're all at a ball. Which, I mean, would be fine if the song accompanying it was a slower one. To be honest, I think this would fit better with Swisher Part 1, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, it's fine, but it's not something I regularly come back to. Honestly, I really don't have much to say about it, other than Will Swan looks pretty good here. He looks thinner and healthier. I mean, it's not to say that he's fat. I just like to point out that he looks good in this one. I mean, to be honest, they all do. Especially Matt Mingus with his porno stash and his mullet, just hitting those drums. Hit me like he hits those drums. Sorry, what were we talking about again? Oh, right, Tree Village. It's an alright music video. You'd think I'd rank this one higher because it's the song that got me into the band, but if I'm being completely honest, I didn't even know it had a music video until a couple of years ago. It's not really anything too standout, just the boys in a warehouse and then in a car for some reason, and I mean, they're not even going anywhere. Tillion's man bun and beard do look fantastic, I will say that. And I mean, John Mess, as always, mwah, 10 out of 10 chef's kiss. Honestly, there's not a lot to say about this one either, but that's going to be a trend for the next few ones, unfortunately, so please just bear with me while we get through them. Here we have the first animated music video, and chronologically, it comes last in the timeline. It's good. I mean, the animation for the time is definitely fine, especially for a first outing. Just I don't know, it pales in comparison to the others, which I know is unfair to say, but hey, it's my ranking and I have to justify these places, and I have to justify myself before God when I get to the gates. I'd absolutely love for them to remaster this video in the current art style, as I think it would look amazing. I completely forgot this had a video to it, but it's official, so onward, I guess. The mural is cool. I'd love to visit it one day. That's honestly all I have for this one. Like, literally all I have. So, here we have cracking the top 20. 1 in a trillion. What's that? It's million? No. Really? Okay. Here we have cracking the top 20. 1 in a million. It's good. The animation is different enough to stand out. As far as I'm aware, it's their first and only 3D animated video they've done like this, and the psychedelic trip into 2D was cool as hell. Honestly, I like the story they tell, with Mr. Guy Business over here learning to let loose and, you know, smoke some drugs with a fucking dragon on the way. Yeah, that's all I have about this one. It's good, and I think you should give it a listen. Remember back in Blood Wolf when I mentioned the summertime gladness effect? Anyway, here's the song it's named after. The SGE is a phenomena employed here, Blood Wolf, and a few other music videos that I'll mention later. The effect is where it shows grainy film footage of people doing things that don't really seem to make a lot of sense. Like in this case, a girl is in a mask walking around with a knife. All of this is juxtaposed to photos of the band, usually getting cut or torn up in some way. For a first outing of this style, it's not too bad, but I think the other videos further up the line did it better. Let's start a religion. And by that, I mean, let's watch a music video by the song on the song Inspire the Liars. The visuals are cool, yeah, and John Mess being, well, John Mess is hilarious as always, but around the breakdown near the end it loses me. I didn't need to see rabbits having sex. Let me repeat, a rabbit man hires a rabbit hooker who then ODs on this green shit that couldn't even tell you what it is, and then they get caged and then given to the mothership. Like, what were they on when they made this? Although, honestly, it was probably that green shit. Here we have the second animated music video, and chronologically, the first. The animation by John Howe is starting to come to the style that we're used to from these kind of videos. The inclusion of the album art from Instant Gratification is also pretty cool, showing a battle between robots and animals. And it also gives the origin of my favorite character from the Howeverse, the time-traveling skeleton duck, with a pirate hat. Animated Will Swan on the shitter is also a standout, it's just really funny to me. The first of the Tillion era music videos, this one is just fucking awesome. It's got a really upbeat and funky style to it, and the boys look like they're just having the time of their lives, especially Mingus on drums, who just has the best and biggest smile on his face. It's actually almost comparable to this picture I got when I went to see them in 2019 with Shay, and the drummer for one of their opening bands, Covet, was just giving me such a big smile. The artist killing people to make abstract ink art is cool, and only now, 10 years later, as I'm writing this, I am realizing that the woman at the very end is the only one wearing any color. That's why she shows up in the painting at the end. Come on, Mason, it's fucking amateur hour. The fourth, and as of writing this, final animated music video, it comes chronologically third. This video is neat. I like the inclusion of the artificial selection tree, and I like how it explains the bulbs at the ends of all the branches. I also really enjoy how the duck and the dog are chasing each other through the live-action music videos of the past. It's cool to see 2D characters in 3D spaces, even if they're just used as callbacks. Also, I can't forget Dave, the actual star of the show. You don't know who Dave is? It's this guy, the boatman from the Happiness album art. The animation also, at this point, is stellar, but it does not top the last animated music video I've yet to talk about. But don't worry, we'll get there in due course. For now, we have other music videos to get to. Here we reach the halfway mark, and this was a weird time for us all. Right when 2020 was getting right into the full swing of things with all its bullshit, the band decided to make a video using clips from the community with the theme of keeping things clean. Fun fact, Shay and I were going to submit a video for this, but when it was announced, the deadline was only 7 days long, and, of course, we were both violently sick during this time, so we physically could not submit a video. I think it was a really cool idea to show off the community, and the song is nice to boot. It makes it just at the halfway mark, and I think it's still pretty good here. BLESSTHISMESS. You know what that spells? Headhunter, of course. This one is honestly the perfect music video. Just not my favorite. This video is serviceable, funny, and wild, and it's exactly what you've come to expect from DGD at this point. This one does hold a decently special place in my heart though, because it came out on my birthday in 2019. Is it sentimental? Yes. Is it a really good music video that almost made it to the #1 slot? Yes. But that doesn't mean it cracks the top of this list. It's funny, and honestly, if you check any of them from this ranking, I highly suggest this one. This one is wild and a drug trip, but the thing that elevates this one for me is just how little fucks John Mess gives. Screaming while he's just chilling out on the couch is honestly just hilarious. And this fucking face Tillian makes just sends me every time. Like, why does he make this face? It's fucking weird. The beatdown the band gives the camera, and by extension the viewer, at the end is also pretty great. Prisoner is an inoffensive, pretty funny way to kick off Afterburner, and it'll fit nicely at number 13. Pop Off is the second in a trio of videos I'm dubbing the Rat King Trilogy, a series of videos released with Jackpot Juicer. Out of the three, this one is definitely my least favorite, although that's not to say it's bad in any way. It was Tim's second last video, and he's dressed up as a banana, so that's pretty in character. Also, Will Swan as a grape, and Matt Mingus as a strawberry is just top tier, although I think the real star of the show is, as always, John Mess as the Rat King. He looks horrifying and hilarious, and all the other descriptors starting with H. Heroic, heartfelt, you get my point. Pretty solid penultimate video in this trio. The finale of the Rat King trilogy, and it's good, but there's something off about it. I think I know what it is. It's the absence of Tim. You can tell that they filmed this after his unfortunate passing. The scene in the casino is fun, and the last shot of them looking up at the jackpot, save for Tim, fuck, it really hurts to see. But as a finale, it's pretty good, and it'll sit really nicely at number 11. Here we have the first video in the Rat King trilogy, Synergy. And before you even mention it, I did not mean to rank all of them back to back to back, it just kind of shook down that way. This video came out of nowhere, and for me it's the best of the trilogy. God, I'm saying trilogy too much. The setting is awesome. A rundown motel with a diner and a mechanic shop is honestly pretty par for the course from the boys. But the star of the show, as fucking always, is John Mess as the Exterminator with Rat King Exterminators. This video also has a cameo from Rob Diamante of Don Broco, and his segment is just honestly fucking hilarious. This top 10 was honestly so tough to get through. All of these have been number 1 at some point or another, but I had to make it definite. Count Basie is fucking weird, and another in the SGE style of video. There honestly isn't really much to say about this one, as it's just your standard weird shit happens to cutouts of the band, while something entirely different happens. It's good, and if I were ranking this based on song, this would probably be at number 2, but alas, it just didn't make the cut. This one is honestly heartbreaking to watch. It's beautifully crafted with shots of the band doing their thing, while also telling such a tragic story. John Mess with his wings and turtleneck look amazing, and I really enjoy when the husband lights the dollhouse on fire, and the set the band is playing on is also on fire. It just adds a really nice touch to an otherwise sad and heartbreaking music video. The first in the artificial selection singles before the album release, this is top tier and almost made the top 5, but the other ones on the list barely just beat it out. The Office Space is a nice mix-up from the usual tomfuckery, and you'd think at this point that I'd say John Mess is the star of the show. But honestly, I think him and Tillian both share the spotlight in this. Yeah, Mess as an android is great, and downright diabolical when he starts murdering people in the nastiest breakdown I've ever heard in my life. I mean, seriously, just listen to this. Tillian is just looking like an entire 9-course meal in that suit and glasses. Yeah, I'm straight, why do you ask? After long last, it's finally time for the top 5. This is the final animated video of the list, and the second in the timeline. Young Robot is a banger, and it shows the origins of the titular robot with human hair, and just how he got his start in becoming the Robo-Jesus who frees the animals from the tyrannical dog. I just realized that I never actually explained the story of these, so I'll do a quick rundown for it. The robot was originally a student of the dog, but after the time-traveling skeleton duck gives him the power cell, and the dog sees the power, he makes it his mission to acquire it because he believes that he'll be able to use it to turn all the animals into robots and rule them all. It's a very Dr. Nefarious from Ratchet & Clank 3 kind of vibe. Other than that, it's a very solid music video, and it is good at number 5. Man, honestly, I thought the top 10 was going to be hard, but nah, the top 5 is really kicking my ass here. Honestly, all of these could be slotted in at number 1, and at one time or another, they probably all were. But right now, War Machine's sitting at number 4. This is the latest video as of the time of writing this, and it's another SGE style. Although this one is a little different, as it doesn't have a side plot with the imagery. It's all just random images and shots of the vocalists whenever they sing. These next ones are going to be kind of tough to explain, but I'm going to try my best, so please bear with me as we go into the top 3. This video is just groovy as fuck. Like, song aside, which even then I think it's the grooviest song they've ever put out, this video is just a pool party where everyone is just vibing along. Yeah, people die for no reason, but shh, you don't need to pay attention to that. This is also Tim's last video, and he looks like he is having the time of his life. Honestly, everybody does, and it's kind of bittersweet, but it's nice to see them all together one last time. I would have killed to somehow have been a part of this one specifically, because everybody just, they look like they're having fun, and I like fun, so yeah. Honestly, what bumps this one up to number 2 is just because of this single frame. Come on, this single frame consistently gets a laugh out of me every time I see it. Where did he come from? Come on, why is he outside the plane? This video also ties into the live stream concert they did for Tree City Sessions 2, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. John Mess slays it as normal as the flight attendant, Matt and Tim as the baked pilots are awesome, and Tillian being a detective trying to chase the mastermind Will Swan, who naturally just so happens to be on the same plane, wraps it up all together in a nice and clean music video. It's good, but it's not number 1, and if you know this band as well as I do, you might have noticed a song I haven't mentioned yet, and of course, that one is going to be number 1. God, whenever I think of Dance Gavin Dance's music videos, this is always the one I think of at first, and this is the one I always find myself coming back to the most. This video honestly has it all, from the band in separate shots on clouds performing the song, to the 2 frontmen serving donuts, all while giving the most friendly smile you can ever imagine. It can't be beat. I also think the extras did fantastic in this one too, from the twins to the father-son duo. Honestly, I don't know what it is with Mothership in particular, but this green shit seems to be prominent in both this and the Inspires music video. Like, is it the same stuff? Is it different? I mean, one might think that it might be in the same universe, because in the Inspire music video, you can see the same chef taking out the trash. And the twist, I guess you could call it at the end of the video, where it's just a lab test done, fucking wild. Fun fact about this one as well, I have genuinely had this elevator style loop on repeat through the speakers in the ceiling of the gas station I used to work at, only because I thought it was the perfect shop type music. One person even recognized it. So if you're out there somehow watching this music video breakdown, you're a fucking real one. Honestly, that was a lot more fun than I was going into it expecting it. It was great to just rewatch all these music videos and relive, like, even just watching them again just took me back to the time that they were released. Especially like the Synergy music videos and the Synergy, not Synergy, the Prisoner. Those ones really just took me back to those time frames that they were released, and it just, I fucking love this band, you guys, and I'm so glad that they're still making music to this day. Stay tuned, because I have an even bigger ranking video coming soon, and it might be sooner than you think. The playlist for all the videos that I have listed here will be in the description below, so I highly recommend you check them out. My name is Deepo, and I hope you've enjoyed your stay. I will see you in the next video.